Hi all at FIA, this is Nick Blackwell, student 150149094, and I'm here with Gabby today, and we're going to do a pre-exercise client screening as well as a passive and active appraisal. Before we get started, I'd like to quickly just run through this with you quickly. It's going to be a pretty universal basic screening tool that we use here. So it'll be a series of questions regarding your basic health and some key health factors that will, I guess, dictate our immediate response with regard to your training program. On the flip side, we have an extension of this screening tool. The entire section is optional, but if you do fill it in, it gives us a greater idea of who you are as a person, your background, but also what we can do to tailor your program going forward. Again, this is a little bit more general further so, a lifestyle questionnaire. So again, more things to help us get to know you, and also for you to kind of indicate where you would like your training program to go. And here, even more specified regarding that, your exercise goals, your times, and what exactly we want to achieve from that. That referral form will be for me if you need. And we have a consent form as well as a nutrition analysis. And last but not least, our girth and active testing form. So I might start you off by getting you to sign the informed consent. Essentially what it outlines is that you consent to all the proceedings going forward regarding gym activity, this screening, etc. So if you would happily sign that, that would be great. Feel free to look over it. Lovely. And so we'll move straight on to the exercise pre-screening tool. It's just a series of questions. Feel free to read through them yourself. If you need me to, I can dictate them to you. But just go through these questions, answer them accordingly. You don't need to. Just say who the questions is all we need. Lovely. Now that's just what our response would be. I just need you to sign and date down the bottom there. Perfect. If you flip over, you'll see the second part of that. Again, it's all optional, and some of the stuff we'll cover in the exercise screening, like height and weight, as need be.
Yeah, I'm not sure I know that, so you might have to do that for me.
No problem. If it doesn't apply to you, just leave it. Sorry, no, that's just a scan. You don't need to worry about that.
Do I need to do any of this?
A lot of that stuff we'll cover later on, like BMI, all that kind of thing. That'll be covered later on if you do have trouble getting some spare pens. You did indicate that you did some light exercise. Do you have any inclination around how frequent or how often you do it?
Yeah, I usually go for a walk with my housemate like twice a week.
Yep.
And then I do go to the gym like once a week for a yoga class.
Okay, so frequency would be 3 times a week, and would it be like 90 minutes, 100 minutes.
Usually only 60.
Total? Like,
Yeah, for
that's
each
everything?
one.
Off
Yeah.
at each one, that's 180 total. Then
Oh,
we're looking at
okay.
the entire week.
Okay, yeah, 180 then.
Perfect. Well, that was nice and quick. We'll move on to the rest of the screening right here, which is the lifestyle questionnaire and furthermore what we want to get out of our training. I'll just check that the camera is also still running for everyone at FIA.
Mm-hmm.
Lovely.
How many hours I stay seated?
Do you work an office job?
No.
No?
No, well, I work on the ambulance, so I drive a lot.
Okay.
But we do also do a lot of exercise.
Yeah, around hour figure is not a problem. So if it's an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours.
Maybe put 5 in total, including when I'm like at home and stuff. Maybe.
Okay.
Oh, wait, whoops, sorry. Wrong section.
Yeah, not a problem.
Stress level like on my body or just in general?
In general, it could be mental, physical.
Have a stressful job. 6 to 8.
Yep.
Quality, like I stay asleep.
Yeah, like do you feel recovered in the morning? Do you get out of bed without a problem?
Well, yes.
Good. Good.
Nutrition. 6. Well, I like a bit of chocolate, but I try and be decently healthy.
That's not a problem at all.
Probably less snacking. I do a lot of that, especially, and less takeaway in the job I work in.
Yep.
Sometimes.
Convenience sake.
Yeah, you don't know when you're going to get a break on the ambulance.
Okay, not a problem. Then we'll move on to kind of, the direction we want to take with our gym.
Tick the ones
Yeah,
I
so
want.
tick the ones you want. And scheduling. So you have your options here: before work, lunchtime, afternoon or evening. Would you prefer to work alone, in a small group, in a large group, or a combination of couple?
So usually, small group.
Yep.
Inside, I get cold really easily.
Okay. Not a problem.
I have time on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays.
Yep.
Probably about 1 hour.
Yep.
I don't like running.
Okay.
No running. If we're doing cardio, I'd prefer bike riding.
Yep. What about swimming?
Yeah, I used to. I was never a good swimmer when I was a kid because I was quite scared of the water.
Yep.
But I've gotten better now. But because I was so scared, like I didn't really learn to swim as well as I'd like. But
That's all right.
I
No,
like
as long as
swimming.
it's something you enjoy. So, we're not necessarily here to what we're good and bad at. It's kind of to make our exercising the most enjoyable. That's the way we're going to achieve our goals, when we enjoy the exercise that we do.
Yeah, alright. Like yoga, like flexibility sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Like dance, and just sort of basic weight training.
Yeah.
want to be able to lift myself.
Okay.
Potential barriers, probably just work balance. Like I said, I've got quite a stressful job. My expectations of you, you'll be kind to me, but firm. I need someone to sort of tell me to do something, otherwise I won't do
You
it.
need the structure, but the encouragement at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. How motivated am I? So like time frames?
Yeah, so maybe we can, do you have any specific goals in these areas? So you look like you want to increase muscle definition and increased muscular strength. Is there anything you wanted in particular with regards to that? So did you want to lift a certain weight? Did you want to look a certain way? Do you have a competition coming?
Yeah, I want to be able to lift myself. I do like pole dancing and like aerials, and it's a lot of upper body strength, like being able to pull yourself upside down.
Okay.
So I just want to get better at like sort of body weight strength, like holding my own body weight, and flexibility for sure. Because there is a pole competition in October, like a Halloween one, and I wanna compete in that one.
October, what's that? That's 3 months from now.
July, August, September, October. Yeah.
Yep. So we can actually put that as a long-term goal.
Okay.
And so what we wanted to achieve in that is an increase in our flexibility, you were saying, with regards to that pole competition. So if we wanted to make this what we would call a SMART goal, is what we're saying down here, it's got to be specific and measurable. So if we want to say,
well, I want to be able to do the splits.
Yep. So we can say, look, by the October pole competition, we want to be able to accomplish a full split.
Yep.
So if you want to write that down. Okay, perfect. And so that's our 3-month goal. Our medium-term goal is normally somewhere between like for a month to 2. Oh wait, sorry. No, I got that wrong. The long-term goal should actually be something longer. So I've mixed that up. Pardon me. We'll switch those 2 around. So a medium-term goal is 3 to 6 months, sorry.
Okay.
A long-term goal is 6 months or even longer, and a short-term goal can be 8 to 12 weeks. Because that's going to be like the minimum amount of time we're going to need to see any kind of considerable development in ourselves physiologically.
Well, I feel like every time I sort of have tried to start the gym on my own, like it's so hard to start with, and then like I just give up. Like I sort of want to get to the point where I don't find it like a chore anymore. Like I feel like a little bit better. You know what I mean?
So it's a I guess a comfortable routine, as opposed to
like I've never stuck to it for 6
an
weeks.
exercise. It's a routine of an exercise in a sense.
Yeah. So like I'd like my, as silly as it sounds, like I'd like my short-term goal to be still doing this by then.
That's not a problem. So so it's still
going with program.
So 8 to 12 weeks. Do we want to say attended minimum 80% of sessions?
Yeah.
That way we can add a kind of measurable aspect to it.
Yeah, because life gets in the way sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I can understand with your work if you're called out and you're like, look, I can't come to the gym today. That's what's going to happen. And so now we are actually looking at our long-term goal, 3 to 6 months down the track.
Okay.
Where would we like to be then? you have a competition in mind, or is it something within yourself? Like, do you were saying you wanted to lift your body by then, but I'm assuming for your pole competition we'd want to have lifted ourselves fully by that point.
I can lift myself when I'm jumping,
Yep.
but I want to be able to like sort of deadlift myself. Do you know what I mean? Like in pole, you straddle, so you hold onto the pole and you go upside down.
Yep.
I can do that when I like take off from the floor,
Yep.
but I want to be able to do that when I'm like up on the pole and not touching the floor. You know what I mean?
Yep. So you flip yourself over.
Yeah.
Righto. That'll essentially take a lot of development, I guess, in this area of the body here. So both your back and your core, that'll be the lever action that we're looking for. So I figure that'll actually probably be accomplished in our midterm goal.
Yeah, I hope so.
And I think if we're at our midterm goal, we can just add that component to it at this point. So you can say
straddle.
And so still it brings us back to our long-term goal of, and if we want to have a look here, is there anything outside of pole that you kind of want to improve? So you had increased cardiovascular fitness.
Yeah, I'm very like I'm decently strong because of my dancing, but I'm not very like fit. I would like to be able to like maybe ride a certain distance on a bike because I do hate running.
Yeah, that's not a problem. We can probably like, I guess if we wanted to look at that right now, and have it as a strong focus, the best kind of, I guess, testing point for us outside of just talking about a ride would to be use the upcoming fitness testing that we're about to use as a baseline. So we could say in 6 months, we'd like to have a 20% increase in our cardiovascular output.
Okay, yeah.
And it's an absolutely dull, I guess, goal as far as things go. But
it's hard to look so far into the future, like, yeah, no, I think that's a good one.
But if it's just fitness for the sake of actually feeling and being more capable, it's a great thing for us to measure from.
Yeah, it might help my CPR.
Yeah. Well, it gives us something to measure off, because we will obviously have our baseline at the end of this session.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Now here comes the fun part.
Ooh.
Our memory test, I guess, with regard to our dieting habits. So if you could recite to me just yesterday's full schedule of eating, because obviously we're just past lunchtime today. If you could put a full 24 hours worth of eating in there, that would be great.
Okay. So I had 2 pieces of toast.
Yep.
Vegemite and cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to put drinks? Because I usually have a cup of tea in the morning.
Sure.
Around about 11. I did have like some twisties.
Okay.
And a mandarin. Testing my spelling, I'm not sure I know how to spell mandarin.
That's alright.
Just the one mandarin and maybe 2 handfuls is a good way to put it.
Not a problem. Yeah, it's not like anyone measures out their twisties, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was a big bag. I didn't need the whole bag, but I didn't have like a little bag to measure.
Yeah.
Wow, I was not healthy yesterday. I had chicken tenders. At 1 p.m. So I had chicken tenders and a sandwich.
Yep.
Yeah. Chicken tender sandwich. So I had 3 tenders. I made scones yesterday.
Yep.
So around 4 o'clock. I had with strawberry jam.
Mm-hmm.
Just one. They'll come before.
Yep.
Dinner. We eat dinner at 1900, and I think we had chops.
Lamb chop?
Yeah. Oh, sorry, lamb. Lamb chops with like the pasta sauce.
Like a
Like
bolognese sauce or
No, like the packets of pasta where you just add milk and water.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, packet pasta.
Like mac and cheese kind of thing.
Yeah, but not gross because mac and cheese is gross. Packet pasta and steamed vegetables. Steamed veg. I don't know how to write the amount. I had one chop.
Yeah.
And then I'd say just a regular side of each.
Yep. So like one serving of each, really.
Yeah. And around about 2100, I had a cup of Milo because I'm a child, and I had 2 biscuits, like teddy bear biscuits.
Okay. Yep.
Oh, I don't know how to spell biscuits either. I don't drink much alcohol.
That's alright.
At all.
If it doesn't apply to you, just leave it there.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say, is this like a typical day for you?
Yeah, I'm normally at work. I had the day off yesterday. I was sitting
Okay.
at home doing paperwork, so I probably snacked more than I usually do.
Okay.
But like toast for breakfast, that or cornflakes is usually what I have every morning, and that dinner is pretty standard for me.
Yep. Well, if you wanted to make know that slightly atypical, maybe less snacking.
Yeah.
Just so we get an idea of what's going on a kind of regular day basis. Perfect. And now here comes the hard work for me. I have to inform you, even though it does seem like you have quite a good amount of variety, just as part of my course to, I guess, achieve a full kind of level of service to you, I've got to inform you about these healthy eating guidelines. It's a very general topic. You will have seen it a lot, but essentially it's great. Try and achieve as much variety on your plate as possible. Don't overeat, so monitor the portion sizing, the minimum of 3 meals a day. And so with that all combined, hopefully we kind of achieve something that we have here, like our healthy eating pyramid, that in a day someone would achieve around 6 to 11 servings of carbohydrates, so your grains, your rice, your pasta, 3 to 5 of your veggies, 2 to 4 of your fruit, 2 to 3 of both your dairy and your poultry and nuts, and sparingly try and avoid your fats, your sugars, your processed foods, that kind of thing. So it's just a kind of, I guess, the best way to break it down and keep it most simple is try and shoot for as much variety as possible and as much fresh food as possible, and get the 3 minimum 3 defined meals throughout the day. I think that's the best advice I can give at this point in time.
Yeah, like I've said, like obviously I work on the ambulance, and it's quite an
I can
unpredictable
absolutely appreciate that.
workspace. So they sort of drill into us really trying to make sure we do have 3 meals a day, because you can get quite carried away and not eat. So I'm usually pretty good with when I'm working, making sure that I'm eating lunch or dinner.
And well, that's absolutely it as well. It's not one size fits all, because we all do very, very different things and live very different lives. But there's always a way that it might not be 3 meals, it might be 4 meals a day, but we break one of the meals into 2 smaller yet still defined meals. There's, as the saying goes, there's more than one way to skin a cat.
Yes, that is true.
And so now we get on to the fun part.
Oh.
Our measurements and finally our actives testing, which will be the last thing as part of this screening, something to round out the day. So if you just want to fill in your basic info there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, we're about to cover all that in just a minute. So, start with our, I guess our heart rate. I noticed you're wearing a watch there, and I can see it telling you your heart rate. You just go right there, it'll tell us, and it's sitting at 76 BPM. It's okay, I can fill that out if you like. I've just got to get my sphygmometer, which I've put on the ground here for our blood pressure. My cousin has the same watch.
Does she?
Yeah.
It's pretty popular. Like I was at like the like JB Hi-Fi when I was asking for a watch, and the guy said like to go for this one. Like it was like not too fancy, but like good enough for what I needed it to be.
Absolutely. I mean, and that's it, isn't it? We all just need whatever gets the job done for us.
Exactly.
So perfect. So I'm assuming you've had your blood pressure taken at least once before.
Yes.
Perfect.
I'm a medical professional. I know.
Well, then you'd almost be able to tell me how to do this better than I know myself.
Possibly.
If you want to set out your arm, perfect. Just line up there. Lovely. And so it makes my job easy. This thing's largely automated, so I'll take you up to about 200 milligrams of mercury and then let it go back down. If you have pain at any time, please let me know and we will start over again. So if you're ready, I'll start pumping it up.
That's nice. Probably calmer. I do this to my patients all the time. Yes,
what goes around comes around.
Exactly. Never heard anyone scream like a little old lady getting her blood pressure taken.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
You must think it's the most painful thing in the world.
There we go. And we're coming back down now. It's just a matter of waiting. This thing will absolutely just do whatever it needs to do in order to get the reading. It'll actually tell us your heart rate as well, theoretically, so we'll see how accurate
my watch is. See if I spent a decent amount of money on something that actually works.
Yeah. Not bad. 118 over 72.
The heart rate is 67.
Yeah. And so not far out, 4 beats out.
Not too bad.
Not too bad for something that just reads off your wrist. Lovely. And a resting heart rate. Oh, there we go. Now it's come up. We're equal. So we're at 70 now. Alright, are we ready to move on to our height and weight? Lovely. Oh, thank you very much. Alright, so we have just behind us a set of scales and a tape measure if you would like to step on the scales.
64, do you need to see it?
Yes, I will in just a second. Yep, perfect, 64. We'll slide that out of the way so you have a nice flat surface to stand on. I'll try to avoid pinching your hair at all points in time. There you go. And so that's nice and flat, and I have you at 172. Come on up. So I'm sure you're aware in the medical profession of the BMI.
It's not the most accurate thing in the world.
No, it absolutely isn't, but it is sadly one of the things that...
we use it all the time.
I guess, yeah, it's a general kind of definition and something that we have to do. We don't have the ability just to perform a DEXA scan on anyone or anything like that. So I'm sure you're well aware of also it being the your weight divided by your height squared in meters.
Yes.
Yeah, so we'll quickly punch that out here. Which puts us at 21.6.
Not bad.
Yeah, no, absolutely in the normal range. Not a problem with us at all. And so, if you're comfortable, we'll move on to our girth measurements.
Sure.
I will have to put one mark on your arm, somewhere around here, just as a bit of a, I guess,
Starting point?
not necessarily a starting point, but a point where we can always draw back to.
Okay.
So, I guess a
Baseline.
anatomical marker, so to speak. But we'll start off with the chest. So, what I need you to do is pass this around your body and take the other side around your back. Lovely. Oh, you're taking the whole thing, not a problem.
I may as well do your job for you.
There we go, and I'll just come around here. I just need that over the widest part, if you wouldn't mind.
That's not much.
There we are. So, on the widest part for me, nice and little. And we are at 85. So now we'll slide down to your waist, which we will take from your belly button, just as a nice
There's a piece in there for you.
anatomical marker. It's always a point we can come back to. So if that's nice and level, we have you at 74. Before I get those measurements, I'll jot them down just quickly.
Yes, I always struggle remembering people's numbers.
Yes. So we'll slide down just a touch further. So if you pass that around yourself again. Lovely. And so now we're going to go to the hips.
Mm-hmm.
And so essentially what's going to happen is we're going to go to the widest part. We're going to do one measurement above that and one measurement below that, and we'll get the average.
Okay.
So. Have you at 106.
Mm-hmm.
Just one up, not too far up. 102. And back to here, and one down.